And of course, this being the first week in July, sprint car fans know what's coming up for this show tonight as Sprint Speed Week has started in the state of Ohio. In fact, if you go back to Attica's Bowman race on Friday night and the 37th anniversary show at Eldora on Saturday night, that makes 9 straight days of big money racing for the sprint car drivers. We have highlights of the first 4 of those. So let's go now to Attica Raceway Park for the 4th annual Bowman Chevrolet Independence 30.
This is race number 4 in the Bowman Chevrolet Race Ledger, and the previous winners will give you an indication of what type of show it's been. In both 88 and 89, Jack Hewitt found his way to the winner's circle, and starting 14th on the grid in last year's feature, Hewitt, driving the black number 7, wound up unable to make it 3 in a row thanks to this wild crash on the opening lap. Despite the serious tumble, Jack was okay, but unable to continue, obviously. Hewitt had to watch as the scruffy one, Bobby Allen, rode home the winner. So 2 Hewitts and an Allen in the first 3 years of the race. In this year's race, Allen wasn't back to defend his title, but Hewitt was among a slick 31-car field in that super sprint division. They were seeking a $2,000 top prize. At Attica, it's awful tough to predict a winner beforehand. In fact, the super sprinters have seen 9 different winners in a row entering Friday's races. In the heat race action, the first of 4 to take the checker flag was Paul Ohio's Todd Kane in the Bob Gillum number 78 Gambler. His road to the win was an easy one, made easier by a little 3-car get-together calls when number 30 Todd Kramer spun. He took Tom Basinger in Australia and Kerry Matson with him. All 3 exited the heat. Matson and Basinger were done for the night. Heat number 2 saw Chuck Wilson continue to run well. He was first in a tough field. The 4th and final transfer spot in that heat race went to 2-time Bowman champ Jack Hewitt. Hewitt recovered from this early race spin to move past first-time visitor Ronnie Myers on the white flag lap. Heat number 3 was a white knuckler, not for Ashland's Rusty McClure, the eventual winner, but for anyone around young Rough Rider Jason Dukes. Jake had his racing shoes on, and anyone in his way would have to pay. Just ask Jerry Currier, who wound up a little dizzy after spinning from contact with Dukes. And there was plenty more good racing in that 4th and final heat as well, particularly the battle for 3rd between Mark Keegan in the X and number 16 Al Hager. Keegan took that battle, but Gibsonburg's Johnny Bieber took the checkered claw. 16 cars are now qualified to run in the feature, with the final 4 spots to be earned in the B main. Todd Kramer paced that pack, and the lineup was set courtesy of the Coors Light scoreboard. In the front row, it was Rusty McClure. In the Wiz, John Wisbon. Row 3 is Todd Kane. In row 6, it was Mark Keegan and Johnny Bieber. In row 7, 2-time champion Jack Hewitt in the 63 car. It was the second week in a row that the Wiz drew a front row position, but remember the nightmare that happened when he got sideways and started a 6-car tumble just last week. His own gambler took a beating, and this is the Wiz's ride prior to this evening's action this past Friday night. Bent and broken with tape, acting as a sprint car band-aid. This time out, though, all goes well, and the Wiz takes control with Rusty McClure running second. On lap number 5, the red flag flew when Eric Rankin flops his Maxim after striking a retaining tire, the second week in a row that Rankin tumbled on that same stretch of soil. Well, that was the only stop on the 25-lap parade, and leading wire to wire was a 10th different Attica winner in a row, the Wiz, John Wisbon. He hung on to that low groove throughout, and he could not be caught. Rusty McClure, Todd Kane, Jenny Bieber, and Byron Reed finished 2 through 5, but in the winner's circle for the first time ever at Attica. A happy 11th anniversary to him and his wife, Sue. It was Fremont's John Wisbon.
What, first feature here?
Yeah.
I don't know career-wise. Help me if you would.
I had one other one up to Butler here a couple years ago.
They're sweet, aren't they?
They're great.
I tell you what, it don't get a lot better than that.
No, it doesn't.
You know, that's what it's all about. Mr. Dave Simpson from Bowman Chevy Olds would like to present you I think a super trophy for a super event. You're hanging that flag in front of this thing here. He's got to get accustomed to winning here. And like Sue said, it don't get any better than that. Happy anniversary, buddy.
Thank you. Hey, there's a couple people I'd like to thank. Boy, my crew, them guys they've been working hard, you know. And I guess if it wasn't for Nolan Renfro loaning us a motor to run, why, we wouldn't even have been here tonight. So, you know, I owe a bunch to him, and like I say, the guys worked real hard. And that's great, I'll tell you.
Congratulations to the Wiz, another racing